welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons and have life get in the way far, far, far too many times. So yes, we're missing a Nyx, and we are. I mean, to be fair, we're doing sensible, useful things with our hiatus time. Um, Previously, the Cupcake Coterie were heading in the direction of Cragvere because they need living fire. Of course, they've been having to head through various bits of top layer Underdark, I guess is the best way to put it. Uh, Lots of kobolds, unpleasantness involving kobolds loyal to Tiamat and whatever else. Uh, Shadow Dragon versus Shadow Dragon brawls, which was fun. And yeah, now everybody wants to go shopping for the. Actually, that's a thing that could kill some time because Cherie only had the materials to do that once. But the occasional panic fumbles aside, y'all were doing relatively good. Right up until because I needed some time killing. Um, Group wound up with particularly horrific amounts of nightmare. I'm not going to go into detail with the two of you. I do not have that level of brain, but put it to you this way: abandonment. Mostly because I know that you two, that's your whole deal. I know y'all well enough to know what your deal is, but I don't want to have to put you on the spot of. But yeah, everybody woke up with some sort of issue as far as that goes, except for Cherie, because apparently, Governor Zed takes care of his head secretary and made sure that nobody could do that kind of shit to her. So the immediate decision was, okay, so you were sent to Vievaled to have that done. Let's all go and talk to Vievaled and make sure that nobody can do that to us again. Because the last thing you want to be doing is going into the kinds of situations you're going to be going into underslept and jittery. So yeah, y'all went to thankfully you've got teleporters, so you all went back to Demille and got a lunch appointment with Vievaled. Turns out that doing this is expensive, but she's going to be kind to you guys to a point, because there are things that she needs from you that A, count as payment, and B, are apparently necessary in terms of how whatever protection she's going to put on you works. So after your lunch, you were sent out with two missions, effectively. Thing one, an example of your favorite thing in the whole wide world, the thing you love best. Two, whether alone privately or as a group, you need to tell her what you're most afraid of. Apparently, this is a necessity. She did feel kind of bad about asking for it, but how is she supposed to protect you from it if she does not know what it is? So yes, most of you came out with your various bits of favorite thing, but that basically leaves Darwin and Clarity.
So it's a thing, like not a living.
Well, that
thing.
depends on how you want, and that's the thing. I'll give you the same advantage as the rest of them had, in that some people took it to a physical thing place, because it has to be a physical thing. You can't give them a person. But some people came up with a representation of something that mattered the most to them. Like Rylan, their comment was, this group And even with everything is the best thing that ever happened to them, so they wanted to represent that. And I gave them, told them where in Demille they could potentially go for something like that.
And as another
Check
example, mine was
inventory.
the
Was the
cranberry, the heart
Yeah,
heart stuff.
Barnabas and Hazel's have kind of layered meanings, honestly. The coffee and the donuts is something that has stayed constant in both worlds. They're a bit of comfort for him that he doesn't have a whole lot of in a very strange new world. But weirdly, they're better here, so that's something.
He's not arguing.
Yeah, and for Hazel, that represents home, family, the efforts of family on her behalf, that kind of thing, as well as just something that she likes to eat. So there are layers of meaning in even the simplest things, like uh, Remy with the socks.
And is it gonna be something that I would not get back?
I mean, you don't know. You would have to assume because you are supposed, as far as you are aware at this point, it is a gift because it's a gift slash repayment.
Okay. I think I know mine.
Well, while you guys take a minute to think, I'm going to give Hazel a particular bit of something. Uh, while after a while of digging, comes out, and while killing time in market, notices briefly the Michigan being missing.
Uh-oh.
Galumph's back a couple of minutes later. Um, you're not entirely sure what kind of rodent this is, but it is a very dead rodent. In his beak.
Okay. Where did you find that?
What's done? Hunt. Present.
Uh, oh boy.
Lady wants present.
Like picking up the thing in confusion.
And flap boink back. Mine. Apparently, he's going to be the one to give it to me.
Yeah.
Oh, now I understand what you mean. That is certainly a choice, but it's your choice, so I'm just gonna roll with it.
Sort of sticks the rodent in the bag. Can't give you.
Yeah, no, I get it. That's certainly a choice. Just giving the critters scritches. Dude, Michigan is he's Michiganing. What am I supposed to do with that?
The cat
Well,
is showing.
Well, it's one of those situations of okay, everybody's giving the lady presents, and it's something they like best. I can't give what I like best because mine, but I can give foods. I like foods. I will hunt
Makes sense.
special.
Yeah,
Is
this is
the
like I
general
said,
vibe?
Michigan is Michiganing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question that.
Okay. Darvin, you said you had an idea of what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm. I still have on my person, tucked away very carefully, the letter that I wrote that I read when I was stayed behind at the encampment. Uh, and it's to me representative of obviously everyone, but also I'm better with words when I write them down first. It's representative of my ability as a bard, my ability at writing, and just basically everything that makes me me, including all of our group. So, I mean, I can't think of anything, at least right now, that means more to me than that. So,
Well, I mean, as long as it's representative of a thing you love very, very much, that's fine. Awesome. Clarity, you got an idea?
So I can go shopping for a thing.
You can. If you give me a basic idea of what sorts of things you're looking for, I can let you know the likelihood of finding it.
I want a big green ribbon with a tiny Palor symbol affixed to it. No.
That is adorable. That is the peak of adorable.
You are, in point of fact, going to have to go to with a little bit of talking to the people, mostly in the food stalls. You'll be pointed to where the people hang out. There's actually a lot of the people sort of hanging out because getting you're just coming out of midwinter, and they don't travel the plains that much midwinter because if it's bad just at the start of winter, imagine what it's like in the middle of it. So you'll find a lot of the people, and they would have done their last treks across the plains to be there, which means they'll have trade goods. And thankfully, word gets around with the people, and they've heard a fair bit about you. So they're inclined to be kind, and thus show you to the people who A, deal with the pretty stuff, which they say a little bit confusedly because they don't really, and B, doesn't get too offended if you don't know any of the sign language. I mean, it will cost you a good 5 gold, but that's only because of the sheer amount it took to bring it here.
Okay.
So yeah, towards the end of your 2 hours, because you had 2 hours to accomplish that, and Alice opened up the surreal estate for folks who needed to get in there, because a few people did. Shree did have to buy the Demille equivalent of a like cake box, because obviously she cannot use the plate. She baked something. Or at least that's the impression you get when you see her carrying this ivory box that is the approximate shape of a cake box, right size. But of course, because it's ivory, you're not getting much of the smell. So I assume everyone's ready.
Yep.
And on they go. And the guards at the door are aware that you're that you're meant to be coming in, and get you directed to. It's an almost casual receiving room. It's the kind of thing where it's more formal than it looks because it's meant to put people at their ease. But so again, it's interesting. You just don't get wood here. You get a lot of ivory framed furniture, but very squishy cushions. Incidentally, before the lunch meeting, Alice went to the Silver Vault to specifically get some research as a cheer up for Clarity. Introduced Clarity to the concept of the snowball, which is some kind of dog, cat, maybe some kind of third thing, but they're literally globes of fluff with big black eyes, little black nose, and just 4 little paws sticking out of the fluff. And apparently, in the spring, they migrate. So you get like 200 yards of, because they're small, 200 yards of, literally, they're called snowballs, tramping across the plains. And apparently, sometimes they get the zoomies, and it just looks like cotton balls caught in a hurricane. Alice thought you desperately needed to know about these, and suggested that maybe if you're ever in the area in spring, you can see a snowball migration.
Make a note of it.
I knew that was going to happen. I mean, to be fair, everybody else looked predominantly bewildered when Alice was explaining that. But I imagine it that mostly Darvin and Clarity are just like, "Aw." So yeah, you're settled in relatively comfortably. Tea is brought forth, and a little while after you guys settle in, the Eveled comes in, sits in the fancy chair that all of you are smart enough not to have touched. All right. Now, I imagine that greatest fear at minimum is going to want to be something done privately. I think I'd personally prefer it because, if nothing else, what you say might affect someone else. And this needs to be from you alone. And I figure we can get the presentation of things that you cherish at about the same time. So none of you feels any certain way about your gifts compared to anyone else's, because it's not a competition. I just know that, I'm sorry, but you're all very young, and the young do tend to get competitive when they don't need to. Looks at Darvin when he's going there, and she just says, and for efficiency, we will go alphabetically by first name, as otherwise it gets a little complicated. Alice is just, and she walks into a door just off to the side. Alice just, and follows. It's actually a good 5 minutes before door opens and Alice steps out. I suppose whether we go with Aveline or Ava, it would be you. The room you find yourself in is, I mean, it's actually a little bit reminiscent of the little sort of reading nook you had when you were smaller. Just a lot less wood, as in none. Everything you'd expect to be made of wood is made of ivory, and there's more fur involved than you're used to, but the feel is the same. This is a room where you go when you just don't want to deal with everything out there. You can assume that with duties and responsibilities facing off against wanting to be a kid, you needed a room like that. Everybody needs a room like that. And Jamila gestures to a chair. We'll begin with the difficult part. And I know that a lot of things have happened in general that are surface level fears. Unfortunately, that's not what I'm looking for. It won't help, is what I mean. I mean, deep down at your core, what is your greatest fear?
That's what that came to mind was losing my family again, but
No, I think that's as about as deep rooted as you can get. It encompasses so much.
Mm.
You doing everything from them dying to you doing something so wrong that even that bunch of good-hearted individuals would abandon you. Keep in mind that just because I said that it shouldn't be surface level doesn't mean that the word you're using doesn't reflect the absolute root. You spent time without a family. You have one again. You don't want to be alone the way you were again. Second set to mourn, second set to avenge. It's entirely
Not only
understandable.
that.
I think I can work with that, and I have a feeling you're going to be hearing that a lot. Representation of something you cherish.
Well, I suppose I've since put in maybe a
Yep.
thing of the family crest.
Well, that will always be a part of you. Old and
Couldn't
new.
have it any other way.
Why this?
I never want to forget them.
Fair enough. I suppose that particular bunch won't let you forget them. But they won't let you forget the other either.
Hmm.
Fair enough. Thank you. Stands
Thank you.
up, opens door. Barnabas.
All right.
And yeah, the room is probably a little small for you, to be fair. But thankfully, it's one of those big overstuffed chairs that is probably a little bit too big for the room, but fits anyway. Right. First thing, I think you're smart enough to know that I'm not talking surface levels here.
Yeah,
Your
I am.
greatest fear.
I've always been different and weird. I didn't grow up with a Minotaur family, and I could almost always tell that some people worried that it didn't help coming here, that I was actually a monster, not a person. That's not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is they're right. So,
I understand, and I will say this. I hope that after a little bit longer with that bunch, they get it through that if you were going to be the monster you are afraid you might be, you would have become that a long time ago.
it's a great help with it, and I've known it's been utterly irrational most of my life, but it's never left.
And I suppose, given why we're here, there was a moment when you were more or less set against one member of your party, at minimum.
Yes.
And yet you still were using violence as an absolute last resort, despite having a foot and a half worth of height and a
Mhm.
goodly amount of muscle on the person involved.
Yeah.
I put that out there for you to remember in darker times. Now,
Thank you.
something you cherish.
Well, since I can't/won't give you Cherie, um, it, coffee and donuts. It has been my fuel and my comfort over two entire worlds, dimensions, whatever you want to call it.
I'll have to see to it that your lady love has the recipe for these. But I will say this, I am glad that you have found a piece of home here.
Me too.
Although I also recall something about pierogies.
Yes.
If you're staying here for dinner, pulls out a notebook, make them take you here. It's not an address, it's a map of the food area.
Ooh.
And she hasn't written anything, she's just put a little asterisk on a particular building or something. Building-ish, anyway. Here is a little hard because most things are carved straight out of the ice.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Open up the door. Shuri, we've already done, but I do have a gift. And this I will open because for all I know, you might be interested in sharing. Lifts the box and what you've got is this sort of. I don't think any of you have ever seen an ice cream cake. But it's very dark chocolate, very bright mint, I think is the only way I can describe the smell. Ice cream cake. I will definitely have some of that afterwards. Save me a piece. Darvin. Actually, no. I forget myself. Clarity. I'm never entirely sure which one you're going by, but given. Let's stick with the one that your family knows. My apologies. And shuts it. Briefly, Alice is literally like looking at Darvin, cutting him a piece and going, because you've had a reprieve. And yes, for those of you who are immediately digging into, and yeah, this is chocolate mint ice cream in the sort of natural flavoring kind of a way, not that it's green kind of thing. In fact, nothing about it is green. It's just a very bright mint, a very dark chocolate, and it blends with the cream into something a lot softer than it sounds from the descriptions. But Shuri is just one of my better works, I tend to think. But yes, we are going to leave her at least 2 pieces of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Meantime, yeah, the chair you have is large and squishy. It fit a Minotaur, so you kind of get to snuggle into it, basically. I know this is probably harder for you than it is for most of the rest of them. Greatest fear.
That someone I love will die, that it will be my fault, and that there will be nothing I can do about it.
I'm hoping that your group's history will help to assuage that somewhat. As I recall, they barely let a corpse hit the ground. Not that that's a bad
Kind
thing.
of,
Not that that's a bad
yeah.
thing. But there's 3 of them now that can raise the dead? Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so.
yeah, Alice, Remy, Hazel. So that she's trying to. It's clear if you have a ledge trying to get you to think, even if it's Hazel's the one that falls, they got 2 people waiting in the wings to bring her back. I know
I
that
think some things don't go away when
I'm aware.
you've lived with it.
I'm very much aware. The only reason I bring it up at all is I know that saying it aloud is difficult because there's a lot of feeling that verbalizing it will make it happen. So I'm trying to take a bit of the sting out. I know that it won't erase the fear, but it's something to have in the notebook on the bad days. That's part of what the spell is going to be about at the end of the day. I'm telling you this part of it because I know you'll be more interested in the workings than anything else. The reason that I need to know your greatest fears is because I need to know how to combat them, and I need a representation of something you cherish because it will need to come to you to comfort you.
That's what she said.
Well, I suppose you could also appeal to your patron, but I have a feeling that her idea of drowning out the nightmare might be. You won't have heard of this one, but I will introduce you to a form of minor comedic punishment that we do for young shoplifters. And starts, waves a finger. And you guys aren't hearing this, but Clarity is hearing the Happy Banana song. We lock them in a room and we play that for about 6 hours nonstop.
Oh no.
It
Oh no.
it does prevent shoplifting.
I would imagine so, and that's going to be stuck in my head for a while.
But I figure that your patron is probably the sort of person who would say, "Well, that's preferable to nightmares, isn't it?" And somewhere in the back of your head, it's like, she has a point. Moving swiftly on something you cherish.
And she offers the bow and the Kalar symbol affixed to it, and I think it's kind of self-explanatory.
I'd better be invited to this wedding too.
No pressure.
I'm assuming it'll happen eventually. I mean, put it to you this way, 10 years is nothing to me. Remember how old I am. I'm not saying it has to be next week. I'm just saying that when and if it happens, I don't want to be invited through Calatiel deciding we're all invited. It's nice to have an actual invitation. I have a scrapbook. And actually
Oh,
reaches under the chair.
It's adorable.
Huge ass scrapbook.
that's delightful. I love it.
I mean, there's the one. There's the various bits of assorted odds and ends from the one time Calatiel decided to get married. Turned out to be an actual archfey. It was interesting.
Ooh.
They had basically a wedding celebration a week for 3 months. They stayed married for 2 months, and then decided to spend the rest of the year having divorce parties. And then there's the 3 times Crea Bendis got married. Those only
Oh,
lasted about a week each.
I believe it.
And yeah, the next couple of minutes is literally just spilling the tea. And so, yeah, you've probably got when Clarity comes out looking amused and slightly smug, probably. Alice hands over a piece of the cake and, like, I'll be asking about that later.
We have such gossip.
I'll leave you all to that, Darvin. Then yeah, you get the tea and the cushy armchair, and you do see the scrapbook as she sort of tucks it into its little spot under the table. Let Clarity tell you. So you know why we're here. We're getting to business. Greatest fear.
You're to the point that it costs everything.
First of all, out of character, you're gonna need to say that above a mutter.
Sorry.
because it didn't come out very clear, and I missed about the first half of it.
Sorry. Failing to the point that it costs everything.
I'd assume failing in general is at least part of it. Your father was not gentle with you when you did not meet expectations. And your expectations of yourself are now higher than your father's ever were. You know what I think the greatest achievement that, and I'm sorry, even the elves among you are very short lived by comparison. So for me, I watch you youngsters, and I think the greatest achievement that you have is the amount you can learn in such a short time, and how much you can take away from failure. I mean, insofar as death goes, I've had to flag up already that there's 3 of you lot that can raise the dead now. Depending on which way your childhood friend goes, you might end up with 4. And for all I know that you are occasionally easily distractible, a little headstrong, and I think you and Hazel are similar in that way. You just take it in different directions. The one wonderful thing about family, as much as they drive you crazy, I should know, look at my siblings, is that they will always be there to catch you. Even if you fail, they will hold you up. And like I say, I don't say this because I think that'll take the fear away. It's something to hold on to when the fear comes to eat you. It's a part of the process. Trust me. Have a sip of your tea before we go any further because I can see how hard that was. Yeah, it's surprisingly sweet and almost meatish. How the fuck they have anything like honey here? You have no idea. Yes. Get Alice to tell you about the blizzard bees.
Noted.
Something you cherish.
And he hands over the letter.
Please tell me you've actually told them this.
I read it.
So I'm guessing this is probably the most eloquent thing you've ever said about the most important thing in your immediate orbit.
To this point, yes.
Takes out that big old book, opens, tuck, tuck, flatten. You can see it's a scrapbook. Your mum had one of these. This one is fucking huge. As I say, ask Clarity to tell you all about that.
Darwin may be just tearing up slightly.
Take another sip of tea and compose yourself. I'm sure you don't want to be sniffling. Actually, hands over a handkerchief.
Dabs a little.
And
Yeah.
Remy.
Sure, walking.
Yep. Yeah, Remy's literally gonna have to boost herself into that goddamn chair. I mean, it's the kind of thing Barnabas can sit in comfortably. And Remy's not tall. I really need to get a footstool for that thing.
Shouldn't Hazel be before me?
Oh yes, of course you would. Oh, fuck. My brain is not working.
No worries.
We'll get back to that. So yes, Hazel. I knew I was missing somebody. But yeah, Hazel boosts a little into the chair.
I'm actually average height, but built like a brick.
Yeah, surprisingly for a half elf, they're normally known as wiry, but not this one. Then
Nope,
again,
I am compact and dense.
yeah, Skylar's gonna put you to shame.
Oh yeah, that creature is denser by an order of magnitude.
Well, you know, she's doing
Already.
armor training at age 6, so yes. Right.
She's a brick.
Well, currently she is just a good throwing stone. When she gets a little older, then she'll be a brick. All right. I am hoping that you've had the time to actually streamline the words for this. But if not, we'll work around it. Greatest fear.
Not being able to help.
I have a feeling that one goes right down to being helped so much and knowing how much that means, and also feeling like you will not be valued if you are not useful.
Yep.
I would like to point out that even if you are not healing, feeding, or otherwise supporting in any way you consider a concrete way, I think the only way I can give you a reassurance is this. Reaches into the little bag that she's apparently been tucking things into and holds out a ribbon with a green ribbon tied in a bow with a tiny Palor symbol tied to it.
How long before the gears fully engage?
Well, that's up to you.
Just stare, stare. Eyes are now dinner plates.
Most people were a little bit more general, but you are better than useful. You are loved.
I am trying to contain hypersonic right now.
Pulls out a different handkerchief, just in case.
That just scream.
Oh, so that was in case you were going to cry, but that works too.
Yeah, that was not in case that this was not crying. This is apoplectic joy.
And from the griffin bag, you get losing my peoples. Oh, we're including the. Okay, I think I can understand that.
Just gonna pull bag open a bit more, let him out.
The place I was in was. There was like me's, but less pettings and loves than I like. And instead of like sitting on the floor, it's actually just sort of curled up in Hazel's lap. They have a lady that can fly with me. And they all give me treats. Even the short, grumpy one. I want to stay with them. Okay. Simple enough, but very much right down to the core. Something you cherish. And before Hazel can say a word, pulls the rodent out and puts on the little table where the tea is set up. Can't give you mine, but this is how they show that they're mine. They give foods. So foods. You are adorable. I don't know if you get nightmares, but if you do, you never will again. Now that the ice has been broken, metaphorically speaking, because otherwise I'd have problems with the walls.
The item.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna pull the jar out and set that.
And we definitely don't get this kind of thing around here. Certainly not made with the amount of love this one is. Well, love of the craft, but not. I think you understand what I mean.
Yep. Might not get the words for it, but
It will do.
yep.
I'll have to write a letter to your mothers. In any case,
Hmm.
opens door. Remy.
Yep. Walk in.
Yep. And I think we're going to be straight to business with you. You are not the type to beat around anything. Beating
Yes.
things, yes, but not beating around anything. Greatest fear.
Alice dying and not coming back.
I'm sorry. I actually no, I'm not, because the idea of that, I know you won't believe it because fears are irrational, but the idea is laughable. You won't allow that to happen. Hazel won't allow that to happen.
No,
Ava
yes.
won't allow that to happen. Nobody is going to allow that to happen, least of all her celestial parent. And when you have a
Yes.
solar on side, then again, I suppose you're probably right in that if it came down to it and a sacrificial play was required, we all know who would do it. So fair enough. Honestly, I don't think I can make you feel any better about that one. You would at least have someone to yell at to get her back. You're fairly good at yelling at that one.
Yes.
Ziriel takes more shit from you than he has to anyone since his inception.
Well, we did make a deal back in the desert, and
Yes.
so
Sorry,
Alice needs that second chance.
more than second at this point.
Oh.
Honestly, I'm just hoping that if she ever does have to die again, resurrecting or not, it doesn't have to be at your blade.
Yes.
Which is unlikely given at least part of what I'm going to be doing here. Moving swiftly on, thing you cherish.
You will produce the socks.
You're adorable. I know you
Thank
probably
you.
hate hearing that, but you are. Okay, you hate hearing that from me.
I appreciate the sentiment. And that we're in private.
Well, look at it this way. At the very least, it is very obvious what she sees in you.
Thank you.
Opens door. Rylan. And Rylan being nervous and Flitty being like, as you're going in the door, me too, thanks. Apparently, yeah, even the pets are getting in on this one. So yeah, I'll obviously deal with Ryland's sort of off screen probably. So because you know that in character Ryland's probably not going to get into it straight away. But while you're waiting for him, has Clarity been spilling any of the tea during any of this time?
She's, eating her cake and going, and then they were married two times, and then there was one that was the 2 months, and then there was another one, and then there was a months of divorce parties. That sounds awesome.
Actually,
Divorce parties?
to be fair, it was a divorce party per month for the entire rest of the year. So it was like weeks and weeks of marriage parties, post-marriage parties, etc., etc., etc. They spent like 2 months being just married, and then 8 months, once a month, divorce parties.
Monthly divorce parties. Just going on. And
Divorce parties?
no, I mean, yeah. If you're gonna get divorced, you should, I don't know, have fun with it, I guess.
I mean, out of character, I get it. I made it change my mind. So I mean,
And to be fair, by now y'all know archfays are weird. So, given that this was Calatiel getting married to an archfey.
It's like, Hazel gets it on one level, but you have stud-locked the farm girl.
And then Creia Bendis was married a few times, and they only lasted a few weeks at a time. And
Weirdly, that doesn't surprise me.
she's shoveling.
To be fair, one of those, Vieva Led would have told you, one of those, Creia Bendis was a he throughout that one. So apparently there's like young or possibly adult brush dragons related to her, or like dragonborn or something, because part of the reason she married that one was to have kids.
She has kids. Did you know she has kids? But she was a he at the time, and then so she's a dad.
She's actually technically
Error
also a mom.
404, cleric not found.
Christ, she's basically doing the Asari thing. Sometimes she's the dad, sometimes she's the mom.
Yeah, nope. Hazel is just staring into the middle distance, just glitched, errored out. Goodbye. As I said, error 404, cleric not found.
Shuri occasionally piping up with, that the provinces actually have to keep records when the governors marry, so I had to deal with at least some of the paperwork.
I'm sorry.
Actually, it was fairly
had-
interesting.
Uh,
And most of it was historical, to be honest, but the problem is with the governors, we have to check in once every few years to make sure they haven't got married while no one was looking.
Well,
And then out comes Ryland. All right. You're going to have to come to me after dinner. There's going to be a tea. I will attempt to make it palatable. But Barnabas has some place to suggest. So, shoo. Be back at about 9 p.m.
Thank you.
Pack an overnight bag and do not bring that house into my house. Yes, ma'am. Look,
that might be the first time that sentence been uttered in the multiverse.
I mean, to be fair, it probably makes sense given that the walls being made of ice, but the place is not freezing. So there must be so many spells on this place that
That's a good
opening
point.
up a demi-plane in it is probably a bad idea.
Yeah.
So where are we going?
Well, she didn't give me a name, but a map, apparently.
Alice who? Like, from here. Ah, well, she probably wouldn't have given you a name if it had one, because the governors are like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have one.
No.
Cherie looked. Oh, I should have thought of that. Come along.
Got it.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to nudge Hazel along. You just dial up noises.
Yeah, we're leaving that to
Hearing
clarity.
Hazel
We're
by
leaving
the
that to
shoulder.
clarity. And yeah, what you have is, I mean, it's similar to that place that Cherie took him the first time. It's just more rustic. The smells are spicier, but yeah, it's hot borscht rather than hot or cold, because obviously they're going for feeding you something warm and calorie dense. So it's the borscht. There are what do appear to be pierogies, some form of stroganoff or other. It's laid out in sort of cafeteria style, so you walk along with a tray and ask for servings of things. And what you have on your tray at the end, they tally up the bill at the time. Cherie is, I imagine that you're probably going to want a little bit of everything, so you can take more than one tray if you need to.
Do, do, do.
Yeah. Thankfully, being dragged through the outside and then in here with the smells, y'all have successfully rebooted Hazel.
Yeah, and this is Eastern European food bonanza. Just with, you are asked, because you are clearly not from here, what level of spicy you want. Alice is not asked, they know her. And they look at Barnabas. You just want it as is, because it is, you are used to the ambier version.
Okay.
And yeah, the hot borscht over, it's probably not steak as you know it, but some kind of meat. A couple of different kinds of stroganoffs and casseroles and bunches of pierogi, and so you have large laden cafeteria trays. Because again, I cannot imagine Barnabas not trying a little bit of everything. I assume most everyone else is going for baseline spicy or a little bit above baseline spicy, except for Hazel.
On a scale
Yeah.
of 1 to 10, Darvin's going for about a 6.
You remember when I was talking about how you...
Assuming baseline is 5.
Okay, fair enough. So we're going by what your scale, not their scale, because their 6 is your 13.
No, but mine. Yeah, no. Literally,
So
not
there,
as
so
much as Hazel likes, but like not plain.
yeah, no,
And
you're that's the
not
thing.
not
Yours is a 2 or 3. Your 6 is a 2 or 3.
okay. That's fair.
Meanwhile, Hazel
Probably 3 then.
will look vague. She'll let Alice say go, and then when asked, she's gonna say, like that.
Out of character, I'd be saying something like, "Make it like you were making it for Grandma."
Yeah, apparently these people have these people do not know about you with the spicy, so they're looking at you like they're going to have to plan a funeral. But you're a cleric, I suppose you can probably heal yourself.
Just the anticipation, you can it's visibly growing on my face.
Yeah. The thing about their level of spicy is there's not an aura. It smells spicy, but it doesn't smell as spicy as it actually is.
Even better.
So you can actually sit at the same table with your adventuring party. But yeah, like
Yeah.
I say, you don't have to make the con saves anymore. But if you were anyone else, it would be with disadvantage and a ludicrously high target.
It was probably going to stick around a 2.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you've got Barnabas very clearly enjoying a terrible lot, and like. Since I know you have the coin, you can also go back for seconds, but they do have the dessert dumplings and I they don't really have a name for it, but we would just call it compote.
Mm.
Compot. Oh, good God! That's the most aggressively Russian thing.
In this case, it tends to be very much a treat because they don't get a lot of fruit here,
Okay.
so it's a
Yes,
terrible
but
lot
I
of
wouldn't.
it's a terrible lot of frostberry and various bits from Bergtown.
That's at some point during dinner, Darwin will turn to Alice and just, I was, I was told to ask about blizzard bees.
Ah, yeah, that's they've actually got them in Bergtown, but y'all didn't like get them. You do find them wild as well, but you probably don't want to go near them when they're wild because they act more like wasps. Something has to pollinate the few bits of plant life that grow out there.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't even think of that.
I mean, they're the size of largish wasps, so they are more or less translucent. So they're difficult to see. They make great honey, but you gotta be careful because they're territorial as fuck.
Good to know.
The ones in Bergtown have been bred for generations to be this is our spot and you can have that, that's fine. But the ones in the wild? Yeah, there's. We kind of have to smoke the area to try and pacify them a bit if we want honey.
Yikes.
To be fair, it's usually worth it for trade, and also our coming of age traditions are first you do the fasting and the meditation and the speaking to the Uridasia about what they see about your future, and then there's the party. So basically, after the fasting and the Uridasia thing and whatever, the kids who are still confident enough will go on a little blizzard beehive raid. Because they know they're going to denude the mead stock that's being carted around, so they're getting the honey to replenish it. They were a little disappointed with me because I didn't bother. But, I mean, basically, the Urdasia were kind of saying, it's not that we don't love you, it's just you would be happier elsewhere. So, we still had a feast, just not so much the drinking.
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's where a lot of the sweetener that isn't imported comes from.
Makes sense. At some point later, he turns to Clarity, going, "So that was that big ass book that was that a scrapbook like I thought it was?
Uh-huh.
That is so cool."
She's been collecting things for ages. And that's so sweet.
Yeah, it is. That's adorable.
She may have grumbled slightly at me for not having actual physical wedding invitations. It's like, I didn't even invite anybody but you guys because I didn't expect as many guests as we had. Callatail just kind of invited themselves and their family. I would have given them invitations if I'd known they wanted to come. Mostly because, much like with Archfey, you don't piss off governors in general, never mind when they're dragons.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
All of which are ancients.
And Sheree is, yes, I have a feeling that this won't have been brought up with you, but might have been brought up with Clarity. I'm fairly sure this is being brought up because she sees various of us forming romantic entanglements and wants further wedding invitations for her scrapbook. Keeping in mind that she is not trying to rush anyone into anything, it's just that for her, 10 years is nothing.
Mm.
Clarity is very pointedly looking not anywhere in Shirley's direction.
Artemis has flipped open the notebook. Is like, note to self: do not forget.
Sheree the
Smart,
side eyes him
smart.
as if I'd let you.
Good boy.
I know. I got to do my part too. To not forget.
Fair enough. But, I mean, if you don't let me organize the minutiae, then I'm not having any fun.
Good point. Well, I'll just leave it as a note for myself and then let you handle it.
Well, don't worry, I'll be giving you a list of chores, should we ever come to that.
Outstanding.
And I wouldn't do it all by myself. Why would I deprive you?
All right. Mm.
I realize I've never asked. Looks at Remy and Alice. Not that you don't make a wonderful couple, but how long did you know each other before you got married? Like, few weeks? Something like that?
Yep.
Time is finite. I don't waste things. I am of the people. We don't waste anything, least of all time.
Mhm.
When I know what
They
I
move
want,
very fast.
when
both
I
of
know
them.
when I know what I want, I ask. I didn't expect her to necessarily say yes right away, but she did. So, yay!
Yet I didn't expect her to ask, but I'm glad that she did.
Aw.
And to be fair, then Ree's parents took over, and the next thing we know, we have a quadrant in the conundrum pavilion.
Yep.
Still think about
Among other things, because I seem to recall a remarkable amount of people making stories out of that.
We are not mentioning the fucking play.
No, I said stories in general. I don't want to even think about that particular one. Any of the other ones are better.
Yeah, although the fact that you asked who wrote the God's damned thing indicates that we may have to deal with it at some point.
Better to know who and make them fix stuff than just leaving it to
Oh,
cause
please,
problems.
they would never fix stuff. That kind of thing is too profitable.
Blech.
I know. But,
Okay.
I'd just be happy if they remember it's real people they're talking about. So, everybody's okay, I'm taking it, after all of that. Brylan is kind of, yeah. They were very brave. From Flitty.
Oh,
Still taking a few things in, but still processing a few things. But yeah, largely I'm copacetic. Just
I know.
realizing some things in so many words that I hadn't really stopped to put in so many words in my own head, if that makes sense.
Yeah. But I think I get at least part of why. You need to be able to put it into words or something in your head. Otherwise, it's too big and amorphous to actually get out there and hit it with a hammer. I mean, to be fair, the main reason that mine took so long was my gift wasn't actually something. Well, it was partially something you give, but if you're giving your dancing bangles, you give a dance along with it. It's just what you do. I'm assuming that we're having a little bit of, because if we're having to pack an overnight bag, we're probably going to end up crashing out here, probably as a result of that tea. Probably for the rest of the. So I figure that we're doing that, seeing how we feel in the morning, because I'm sure this is not how it happened with me. I think it's a little bit different when it's. There's a difference between a general all-purpose things out of your head spell and a nightmares bad whap sort of a situation. So we're not in the kind of territory that I know anything about here. And it looks like she's going more along the apothecary lines than the kind of magics I generally do. So here I know just as much as you do. But I'm guessing the reason is we're going to wind up unable to leave the palace until we wake up. And I don't know how we're going to feel when we do. And given that we be porting right back to, like, not very far off the border of Cragvere, I don't want us going there unless we're at our best.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep.
decompression time, we'll see exactly how much of it we need when we've been through it. Because, yeah, we none of us could do a night like we had last night. Ryland's just new. Flitty is like, I know I said the scary and gave the present, but I didn't have nightmares. We'll probably include you anyway, because, just in case. You do dream, right? Yep. Well, there you go. You're part of the team.
Out of
And
character.
just
I was just going to ask, out of character, did Bitey get included in any of that? Because I didn't even think to
you
ask.
didn't bring Bitey, so.
I didn't think so. Okay. Oh well.
But to be fair, Flitty and Michigan can communicate without speak with animals. They're different. Bitey is really more pet. Flitty and Michigan have a little bit more in the way of sentience. But yeah, Alice is just going, if asshole sending nightmares at us didn't see you as a part of the team, well, fuck them. And Michigan is me too. Alice is like, he gave presents too. Yep.
He did, in fact, do that.
I went hunting.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm sure you'll be included too. And we are at about the halfway mark, so when we come back, we'll deal with dosing you with anti-nightmare, and we'll see what else we can/need to do while we're waiting for more or less a full party. And we're back having Barnabas-specific comfort food. And prepping an overnight bag for apparently an overnight stay at Fievolet's palace. And now the question becomes, is Darvin going to bring Bitey? Because if Darvin is going to bring Bitey, LSA will flag up. You're probably going to want to wrap him up in the furs when we're outside.
Um. I'm thinking. Screw it. I have the spell power. I'm gonna cast. I'll go ahead and cast Speak with Animals and just ask him if he would like to go, or if he's content to just chill here overnight while we do what we have to do.
Where would be going?
And I'll explain that we're going where we're going. That it's and that we'll be gone overnight. And there's ice, and it will. There will be furs involved, having to wrap them up in them.
What's ice?
Ooh. Boy, how do I explain?
There,
How do I explain?
you do know there's a kitchen with a magically
Yeah, I was
powered
just thinking
refrigeration
about
unit.
that. I was just thinking about showing him the icebox.
There is actually an ice cube tray.
Okay, I'll go grab one. I'll go grab one, dump the ice out into a bowl, and be like, "Ice. That is ice. There's a lot of it. Very big, big, big of it. So places are made of it."
Crunch. Crunch. This is basically the entire bowl's worth of ice cubes, just scoop
Oh yeah.
crunch. Will I have to eat another priest?
No,
Will there be food?
that's a good question, actually.
Out of
We have
out of character. Come on, it's Fieveled. She treats her guests well.
this is true. So I believe so. Yes,
But they would feed you. If they'd feed you, why wouldn't they feed me?
exactly.
And I'd be wrapped up warm so I wouldn't go into torpor.
Yes.
New place.
Awesome. So that answers that question. Yes, I will be bringing Bitey.
Yes. Thankfully, you don't need the furs anymore because actually no, you still do, but you can bundle him up with
Exactly.
you. And you get occasionally a little bitey snout poking out, going, "People live here." People are weird.
As we step out, I'm turning to Clarity. At some point I gotta find some place that has like I don't need to speak with animals. I just want to be able to speak with Bitey on the regular. Oh well. Anyway,
Yes.
Cherie is either someplace in Egref or someplace along the districts more given to Balinor. You might be able to find something like that.
Ooh.
okay, I will remember that. Thank you very much. So, Norn
Well,
Agraf or
if we're
Balinor.
waiting to be at our best, we might have time to at least pop by Amber. If you're going to have an attack Munchkin Drake, then you should be able to give it commands.
Agreed. And I like Bitey. He's fun.
Yes, when you come in, Vievola does come out to greet you and sort of looks over at Bitey and, unless prevented, yoink, you're adorable. She likes me. Okay. They're sort of doing the I am in air jail, but I'm being liked, so I don't mind. Kind of. I'm sure your furs will be an acceptable bed for it. It's literally just kind of snugged up Bitey and just come along. And yeah, different receiving room up a couple of flights of stairs. Little larger, little more formal. This is for like I think it's probably Clarity who might best remember the this is actually where you were when you had that first overnight stay at, because you guys probably remember, although it was a long time ago, that when you first come into Demille, you stay overnight at the palace for a dinner with Vieveled. So this is the same receiving room that you had in for your personal rooms later on. Right? And the little ivory teacups. I mean, more like shot glasses than anything else. I would recommend drinking them while they're still warm. Warning, I could not make them particularly palatable.
Mm.
Okay?
All right.
So Barnabas has just chucked it
Gonna
down.
shoot it.
Yeah.
Okay? Is
He's
anybody else doing
seen
the
people-
same?
Yes.
Darvin has seen people in bars do this. You breathe in real deep, breathe out about halfway, slam it down,
Okay.
and then breathe out the rest of the way.
You actually don't get that far. Clarity is taking sips when Alisay, Barnabas, Remy, and Darvin hit the floor fast asleep. Alisay and Cherie have been smart enough to sit in chairs before they do this.
Oops.
Oh, that works fast.
Yeah, the problem with taking it that slowly is you might end up falling asleep before you finished it. Because yeah, you know that I am literally about to fall asleep feeling. That was about
Mhm.
where you are with like 2/3 of the drink gone.
Whoa. Strong. Okay, night night.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
I-
there's nothing.
I am suddenly very glad I took the wise cleric by way of Lyra approach and just watched all of this happen first.
I mean, to be fair, Alisay and Cherie apparently had some kind of idea what was going on. Cherie apparently is just joining in because why make you guys feel ridiculous?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch everybody go through the motions before I do the thing, just so I know exactly what to expect.
Yes, can I assume you're going to sit in a chair before you do this?
Yes, because that is judging by everyone else falling over, that is the logical thing to do.
So yeah, a wake happens. You have absolutely no fucking idea what time of day it is.
Whoa.
Yeah, you next time just sit down to drink the damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, this is because you're in your usual room arrangement, so you're with Cherie, and this is Alisay turning around to Remy, going and going. Next time, sit down. If there's a next time, let's face it, it's our lives. There's probably going to be a next time.
I can think of worse ways to wake up, at least.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's around the point where you also notice you've got a bit of a headache. Not of the I drank too much variety, of the I hit my head on something when I fell over
Yeah, that's
variety.
fair.
Actually, to be fair, Clarity knows exactly what time it is because I think you've got that feat. Well, I'm going to say you do anyway.
Okay.
I'm going to say you do anyway, because by the time you finally wake up, you're realizing, oh, hey, it's more lunchtime than breakfast time, because I'm actually awake.
I think it's lunchtime because I'm not feeling the oh god it's morning kind of feeling.
Yeah, when Darvin
Oh.
wakes up, it's with Bitey sitting on his feet.
Oh,
With the furs it was wrapped in, kind of dumped over, all concerned. So you mostly know Bitey is there because you know that feeling when cat's making biscuits and you just get the claws a little bit, but not enough to hurt. That's what you kind of got in your ankles.
Smiling through the wincing of the spot on my head pounding. Although it's more, I think more it's the knees because he kind of went, and I've done this myself. He when he fell over, he didn't fall over. He just kind of crumpled.
Well, once everybody gets changed, washed up, and into the main receiving room, you've got one of Vieveled's pages going. So that you are aware, it is the lunching hour. You are welcome to stay for the lunching hour, or you can visit any one of the eateries without. Uh, some of you will probably have something of a headache for the rest of the day. So you would be advised to take it somewhat easy. Because concussion of that sort is not something that can be cure wounds away. Clearly quoting, clearly doing the direct quote, because I do not want to misrepresent the words of the Lady Governor.
good to know. Thank you.
Governor Aled is busy for the rest of the day, so if I may make a personal suggestion, I would recommend spending the remainder of the day on errands. I will convey any desired thanks to the Lady Governor when she has a free moment.
Please do.
Yes.
Thank
Please
you.
do
Yes.
so. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, the worst thing when I fall like that is if I hit my horns like I did.
Oh
The
no.
base of it hurts like
Uh,
hell.
Oh no.
I hate that.
Oh,
Oh, you
okay.
get it. You get it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
He gets a wince
Smooth
reaction
toes
from Darwin
don't.
than his own headache does.
the reason I made absolutely sure to sit down was in case that kind of thing did happen. I did not want my full weight landing on my wings.
Oh yeah.
Not
Oh,
all at once,
absolutely.
not all of a sudden, not after like day before yesterday was falling out of the freaking sky.
Mm,
Yeah, we already know what happens when that happens.
Well,
Things break.
to be fair, there were a few arrow holes in various spots already. So, but yeah, no, not taking those risks. So yeah,
understandable.
I think what the page was trying to say is get out and let Lady Governor have her life back.
Fair enough.
Yes, very fair.
Fair enough. I need to go browsing
We need coffee.
Yes.
and yeah.
We'll start with coffee. And perhaps reindeer kebab.
Mm.
I'm intrigued by your ideas and wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Kebab.
But yeah, the coffee first, and then yeah, purveyor of roasted meats, basically. And it's more sort of like the doner. I'm sure that you all have some concept of the doner kebab.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
I know that in various spots of Canada they call it doner, but beyond that, anyway, point is that you get some very interesting salad with it. It's basically they carve strips of meat off this big rotating chunk of meat
Mm-hmm.
and various sauces and interesting salads of types you have mostly not seen. Hazel probably remembers more of it because she spent more time in the bubble farms around Burketown.
Kind of like shawarma.
Probably. I'd have to look up what exactly shawarma is.
But in kebab form.
As Alice points out to Hazel which kinds of things she's going to want in the salad bits. Because some of them she knows from the bubble farms, some of them she doesn't, so those must be harvested out there and thus the really spicy shit.
Yes.
So yeah, well, munching on interestingly, not badly, but interestingly shaped and spiced and sauced meat in a flatbread sort of a contraption. This is going to be the last chance we have to do any last minute errands that we feel need doing. Is there anything that we can think of beyond wanting to communicate with the attack Munchkin Drake?
Um,
Yeah,
I could.
actually. Go ahead.
But I was thinking I could maybe improve my armor, but other than that, nothing's jumping out at me.
Honestly, keep the armor that you have. You're not going to get that much better, and given what you are wearing, it's Cragvere, and we're hunting up living fire.
Hmm.
Keep what you have.
Good point.
We probably won't be looking at increasing. We probably won't get much better than what we're carrying unless it's from Jenna.
Hmm.
Pretty much.
True. True. Well, I can't think of anything else, but
Barnabas has the high intelligence. Wasn't he the one saying something about you know, I don't care how expensive it is. We want you to have more of those Shadow Dragon scrolls.
Yeah.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we want to get
Mhm.
stuff to do that Shadow Dragon scroll. We want more of that.
Yeah, there's that, and
Price is no up.
I have no more emergency potions of any kind.
Yeah, I was thinking. Yes, that
I
actually
was just about to suggest we need potions.
always good to have in the pocket just in case.
And those could be of various types, actually, not just the healing, but
Mm.
possibly some utility. I mean, if we're
I've
going
still
after
got
living
the ones
fire,
that I'm going to need for the
Thank you.
Southern Lands
Nice.
nonsense, but that's about all I got otherwise.
I think we need to focus on one thing at a time.
Mm.
Well, I know we have some time to kill. What we don't want to do is get off on 5 or 6 different tangents.
hmm
So let's focus on what we specifically need for Cragvere. Which
Fire
means,
protection, I guess.
yes, there
that's my
are
suggestion.
potions of fire resistance.
That, and then some, what is it? Greater healing, I think.
That's what you all normally need by this point.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
actually not where I was going.
Oh, my bad.
Assuming that assuming that a friend of mine had all the ingredients to hand, I think this one comes with the appropriate fire resistances. Potion of Fire Giant Strength.
Interesting.
Now I'm just
Sounds
picturing
cool.
Barnabas the size of a fire giant, and that just conjures up all
Oh,
sorts
he
of
doesn't.
fascinating images.
No. The enlargement is not part of it.
Oh, okay.
I could, and actually, hold still, darling. And all of a sudden,
Whoa.
enlarge. You have gone from medium to proper large.
Whoa.
That is a lot of Barnabas all at once.
And given you can see, given the length of your legs, you're going to move faster, hit harder.
Ooh.
Okay. I could get used to this, at least for combat situations.
It only lasts for a minute. And much like with Hazel, when her boots run out of charge, there's going to be a second of which, warning, it will be coming on now, so now you'll know what it feels like. And yeah, it's just a like 6 seconds of
Yeah. Nah, that's worth it.
but no, the Fire Giant Strength, I don't know if any of you have heard of Fire Giants. They are generally not the most charming individuals, but they are very strong and they are very fire resistant. Hence the name.
Mhm.
I think that we at the most would be able to get 2. More likely 1. I would like it decided now who gets it.
I can already protect myself from fire.
I'm
not,
already
I'm
resistant.
not thinking so much about the resistance. I'm thinking about
Use
who
the
could
strength.
also use the strength.
Yeah, I'm pointing right at
Uh,
Barnabas.
Yeah, let's give it to Barnabas.
Darwin's pointing
I
right at
mean,
Barnabas.
that
Without
does
I mean,
make sense to
boom,
me.
immediately without
Yeah.
missing a
But
beat.
keep in mind, and I points at Barnabas's neck, where you're fire resistant as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then Darwin
Mhm.
goes, oh, and then moves to points to Alice. Like,
I hadn't thought of that.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I mean, I keep forgetting I'm resistant to holy fire, not the regular stuff.
Mm.
And fire resistance would probably also make less of a problem of wings potentially combusting.
Mm.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Okay, cool. We've made that decision. If there is, however, a second, because I have the ability to enlarge and thus strengthen an individual, and it would make more sense for me to be aiming that at Barnabas.
Mhm.
I think I can actually learn that one, but I'm probably gonna need my focus, my concentration elsewhere. So the other person who most benefits from strength is Remy. If we get a second, it goes to her.
Fine with me.
But potions of fire resistance are a different thing, more common.
Hmm.
And it's a question of who needs those, and effectively, Darwin, Hazel. I don't think it stacks with your ability suite and your being a tiefling. You can make yourself fire resistant. Barnabas has the tattoo, but it might be easier to have the potion just in case. So that's 1. Myself.
Rylan?
Rylan sort of, yeah. Sorry. Thinking of anything else that I might need to do, which not really. I'm wondering if any of my cousins or the Marsh Witch might have anything. Because she had those plants. The Marsh Witch had those plants, and the elders were looking at making potions from them because it's a matter of, like, radiant things are usually weaker to necrotic, or necrotic things are normally weaker to radiant.
Hmm.
If it's fire things, they'd be weaker to ice.
Maybe.
And I'll say, is Hazel, I think you and I can get the ice back into our weapons. It just defaults to radiant now because what we're fighting is mostly weak to it, and we're both pale or adjacent.
Yep.
So we should be okay on that front. But anything from, I mean, even if they just had, and Shreya's, we got those liquids we were going to give to Jenna, but if we at least spend some time asking in, I mean, we need to speak to somebody in Egref about kobolds that worship Tiamat getting their hands on that stuff anyway. But we need to know whether that can work as a weapon coating or if it's something that at a last resort we throw at a problem. So things we need to know what to do with them. I don't think you can have ice bullets, Ava, but
No.
it might be a wise idea not to bring to whom it may concern anyway. I know you've made it heat resistant to a point.
Well,
So it
yeah,
probably
but
won't blow up in your face. But if somebody disarms you,
I mean, I do have gleam, I suppose.
no, I was thinking a longbow with ice
Ah.
arrows. You've been
That
using
could-
a gun for so long you've forgotten about archery.
Well, it's, I guess, yeah, gun feels more potent, so.
But in this case, a properly enchanted bow is not going to catch fire. And
Fair point.
while your gun cannot fire ice bullets, a bow can fire ice arrows. There's a versatility element that, well, yes, the gun is more potent. You also don't have to spend as much time reloading. Flexibility should be your watchword.
Very true, very true.
Whole point in war, use what weapon works best for the situation. I'll personally be looking and seeing if I can shuffle things around and add some ice spells to my repertoire. So it seems as though we're going to be skipping around a little bit. Thankfully, those of you that do teleportation can go multiple places. We just don't have a great deal of time because we slept in. Alice looks over at Rylan and goes, I think we should probably start with Ambier, Egref after that, finish up at the Wood Elf settlement, maybe overnight there, so that we're not worrying about, we'll worry about what it looks like when we teleport in, but not what we're going to open the door on. And give Rylan some time to check in on things, because there is one thing I'd like to check on. We keep talking about how the knife-eared bitch is in a wood elf jail, but we've seen and heard so many goddamn things so far. I think we should double check whether or not she's still there.
Would be worth
Hmm.
checking for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it's not like they can get hold of us.
Yeah, she has a habit of escaping consequences right up until we, stuffed her in until she got stuffed in that.
Yeah, but they've been being attacked by drow.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, my point was more an agreement of she has a habit of somehow is getting out of the one situation into others. So we should check.
Yeah, but we're going to try not to think about that right now. We're going to enjoy a little bit of peace. So we basically start from closest to furthest, and then boing right back to where we had originally started. Everybody remembers the bit of rubble that we that's about the only landmark we've got that can let us move forward from there.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll say Darwin does the teleportation circle. I'm not thinking about it too hard because it's unlikely you're going to run up to the end of your spell casting limitations on what is effectively now a shopping episode, but it's more of the reminder that it's going to be Rylan porting back to their home. And so, yeah, point is one thing that you get when you step out of the teleportation circle. That's another thing we should have done by now. We should probably talk to the Mobius twins.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they knew where we were going, but some shit has been going down, and they probably need to know about it. Let's get that out of the way first. Because I figure if we tell Alana that we have shit to do, at the very least, Nyala will step in more. Or sooner, or both, I don't know.
Hmm.
And as you guys head up towards the bone orchard, Shrey glances over at Barnabas, going, "This is exactly why she was the common sense, isn't it?"
Yes,
Mhm.
100%.
So yeah, you barely get in the gate of the bone orchard when this time it's not from directly behind you. This time it's from Darvin's immediate left and up. So it's like, okay, what the fuck did you do? And then, like, literally about that far from your arm, she lands. You have the expressions of people who have been going through it, and you don't have any living fire with you.
We're working on
We're
it.
working on it.
Yeah.
Yet, I'm aware, but Rylan is, we ran into some things we thought you needed to know about. So, maybe if we just tell you and you can tell Alana, you'd wish that on me. Yeah, fair point. Come on.
Yeah, we'll explain once both of you.
And Alana is actually doing a little bit of some kind of magic to repair a bit of a chip in Mr. Bones's femur, just sort of going, yeah, you got to be more careful about that. Oh, hey, no living fire. And
Not yet.
because you brought out
Not yet.
Bitey and you haven't been into the surreal estate yet. Munchkin Drake! Yoink.
Wait, what? That piqued the.
Yeah, Munchkin Drake. Scritch, 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 scritch. hi. And you don't have to speak with animals at this point, but no face biting seems to be happening. Yeah, I know. I'm like that, but I haven't seen a Munchkin Drake in a while. Nyala won't let me near the pet shop. Not after what happened 100 years ago. I apologized for that. There were pets everywhere for weeks. Governor Zed had to turn it into an event trying to wrangle them all. They had fun. Anyway, hi. Please don't chew on Mr. Bones or any of the others. I will get you. You like dried things, I bet. I have dried toad. You shoves Bitey back at Darvin.
Wait. Sorry, did she say dried toes?
Toad.
Toad.
Toad. Okay, yeah, I got a bit concerned there. There's just
Yeah.
Mr. Bones
Toes
sitting
are
there
part
with.
of the toad. Toads have toes.
But yeah.
And if you think she doesn't have dried toes, look me in the eyes and say that.
And yeah, Alana's like, come on, I want to feed. What's its name?
Bitey.
Oh, that is such an awesome name. I'm gonna bring out the big toads. And when she says big toads, you know those South American cane toads?
Oh Christ! You mean the ones that basically ate Australia?
Yeah. But flat and dry, so like
It's like literally just handing it a dinner plate.
it actually, she literally chucks the thing like a frisbee. So all you guys see is this flat thing, and then
What the?
and then you see the legs and the crunch.
I'm not sure what I expected.
Crunch.
Okay, I'm probably gonna regret asking this, but how and why are they flat?
That's what happens when they dry.
Today I learned.
Yeah, dried fish go flat. Everything dried usually goes flat to some degree.
I mean, okay, to be fair, to get it quite that, you can get it flatter, but you need a pasta maker for that.
Okay, just resisting that. 'Cause this this will have been twice in 2 days. I don't need to.
Anyway.
Oh.
Squishing your cheeks. You're
So-
fine. It's fine.
So okay, I'm assuming that's not living fire. Pointing
No.
at Bitey.
No, we kind of got stalled out because of a village full of, well, not a village, no, a city, former Drow city, taken over by kobolds worshipping Tiamat and using all kinds of weird elemental juice in their traps.
And Shri actually just digs into your bag of holding and plunk. And Nyala is. Some of these are languages you have never even heard of.
To the point where
That she
even
is
the
swearing
helmets,
in.
I'm only getting like the general gist. Not
And so,
even
yeah, what you're getting is you're getting the words, but these are such old idioms. These are idioms that are so outdated, but weirdly more profane for that. Because they're not just relying on scatological or sexual. It's getting personal.
You got to respect the classics.
Oh, it's the
Your
kind that you would
internal red.
hear coming out of coming out of the average, like, there's like a bunch of insults in some of the dialects in Chinese that say something about like 16 generations of your ancestors and something about goat fucking for some reason.
Yeah, lot of son of a diseased dog worker and a goat fucker. Frankly, yeah, that I think that's Cantonese. That
Yeah, but
That-
yeah,
that
it's probably Cantonese.
Well, the only reason
I don't know which one specifically. That's
only
where my
reason-
understanding ends.
The only reason I know it's Cantonese is because Mira Grant, Shauna Maguire's alternate name, her Newsflash series, one of the characters does speak Cantonese. This has been referred to as when he gets really worked up, he swears in Cantonese. It sounds like a macaw having a seizure, and a lot of the time when it translates to English, it goes to diseased dock workers and goat fuckers. So yeah, so I figured Cantonese must be the one about the goat fuckers. But this is the kind
And Darvin's getting instances of this.
Well, he's actually because that's still on the sexual end. This is the may you
May you fall asleep under a camel with post-nasal drip.
That's probably more pleasant than things that could happen under a camel.
you will have less of a life than you'd enjoy and more hardship than you deserve. The things that sound like actual witchy curses, not just
Like an incantation.
it
Holy
makes
shit.
it's not just profanity, it is cursing them.
It's on you, it's on your cow.
But yeah, there is also some more modern in languages that each and every one of you knows at least one of the languages that she's swearing in that is not common, as I understand it. So, but she touches on them all unless interrupted, and Yala is harder to interrupt than Alana is. So,
Oh my.
Walk into the
So,
north-facing end of a south-facing camel.
What's the
that
Stever doing?
I take it that all of that means bad news bears?
why have the little Cabre of all fuckers been giving that stuff to Tiamat worshipping kobolds?
We don't know how they got it.
Find out. And
We
a
will
lot,
definitely make sure.
And Alana is, or we could find out. You want another adventure, don't you? It's been a while. We have responsibilities. And let's face it, with Zet still trying to put his guard back together and his head secretary being adventurous, they need somebody with common sense and... Well, okay, I can't let you go on your own because gods only know what you'd get up to. I could find other adventurers. Gods know.
The character counterpoint, to quote She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, adventure!
And Mr. Bones has basically nothing to say. He's just standing there, mouth open.
Well, yeah, but by this time you're inside, so Mr. Bones is making tea. And Shri is, I understand about the hospitality, but we really cannot stay. We do actually have to go into Egref, so we might set, if it makes you feel any better, we might set whoever Professor August deems fit to investigate such things onto the matter. Nyala has the nastiest little grin.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Do that.
That's okay. I feel fear, and not the usual way I feel fear.
She used to be quite the eradicator of nonsense, so she'd know the best people to send to eradicate the nonsense.
Somehow that is more terrifying than the weird shadow soul taint dragon thing that got dropped on our heads.
And Alana is,
in the Kobold City.
Oh, that
was
sounds
also
cool.
down there.
That sounds so cool. You killed
I
it?
can assure you not. Well, yeah.
Well, actually, technically, you have no idea.
Oh, wouldn't
We
I?
actually don't know what happened
no,
to
yeah,
it.
You can't. You know that the paladin is the Dragonborn paladin is dead, but all you know about the Shadow Dragon is that Cherie's Shadow Dragon was beating the snot out of it.
Right. We don't know
Cherie
how that
kind of
ended yet.
conjured a phantasmal
Copy of it.
dragon thing and then threw it at the Shadow Dragon. And last we saw of that dust cloud of scales and beatings, it was rolling down a cave way.
But I
It
mean, when
absorbed my dagger.
Darling, I will get you a literal mountain of those.
Okay.
or you could just ask Jenna for something else special.
Good point.
Just retrieve her something particularly nice on our adventures, and have it put together as a very special enchanted weapon just for her.
That is definitely a plan. Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you're kind of following people tradition there, but if I tell you that, that might scare you off it. Betrothal knives. It's not you're definitely getting married next week. It's we will probably get married at some point. Unless she hands you the knife back, at which point that severs the relationship.
Just glancing. Oh, I just remembered something. Babe,
Ah,
been wanting to do this since last night. All but tackles.
ah!
I'm good.
Ah, oh
we-
no.
we have
Oh no, please stop.
we have stuff to do. If you guys want to catch up when you're done with the smooches, because I'm gonna wait until we have a private room. We just thought you needed to know about this stuff, and I'll try to remember to sending you if there's anything else we think you ought to know. It's just these feel like warnings you needed to have. Tiamat worshipping kobolds. Right, yeah, no, that's probably a thing that we ought to talk to some people about.
Having taken I'm gonna briefly pop up an entire I think it's Drow city's worth of them.
Yeah, we don't care how many, we just care they worship Tiamat, and they're those sadistic, inventive little fuckers. So it's a thing we need to know. Besides, we get to talk. We get to talk to the Foom merchants. They have some interesting connections. Looks at Alana. Yes, you get to talk to the Foom merchants. Yay!
She's both overly affectionate and very concerned simultaneously, cleric.
I mean, if you guys want to, if you want to stay on the floor, fine. But we got shit to do.
If the party's leaving,
Well, LSA is
Faye's
certainly
just
heading out the
hauling
door.
Clarity around now.
Yeah, I was following Amazon.
So I need supplies. You want a collar that will allow you to talk to Bitey, who is just about finished his dinner plate, Toad. Nom, nom, nom. Michigan appears to have stolen one of them, by the way, and is sort of pecking strips off it in the griffin bag.
I'm hoping you're going to be able to carry that.
Bag!
Good point.
Healing potions would be best here. Any more interesting potions than that should probably be done in a graph. I know where we need to go for them. So who's going with whom to where?
Oh, would the bow be here or Egraph? Egraph probably, right?
No, because ammunition would probably be here. Or if you needed to take a stop off. The only place you could get ammunition or a bow would be Belladonna, and you've asked enough of her lately.
Yeah.
She's still probably waiting on bits for the hand cannon. But the market in Egref doesn't sell weapons.
What about I remember there being a weapons shop in Belarus that was
There's a weapon shop and a whole section of market for weapons. The weapons shop you remember is the really expensive one that's Steel Singer stuff, but there's sections of market that you bought your crossbow bolts from, that kind of thing.
I'm just remembering, doesn't Belarus do the whole like entire weapons fair market
Okay,
thing?
so let's reevaluate here. Belarus, Agref. Wood Elf Settlement. I will be component shopping.
I'll be going with you.
The collar will involve multiple pet shops, probably.
Clarity and I will do that. Hazel, you're free to obviously.
Healing potions will be. Draws a little map. That is the Street of Plenty. That's the alley you want. Honestly, pick by. I would recommend Stacy's. She does flavors. There's a few experimenting with it these days, but she has more of a selection. So I suppose that's Rylan, Remy, and Rylan. That's a lot of you for potions. I can't think of anything else we need to be shopping for, and unless somebody wants to come along with me and with Shree and Barnabas. Anybody want to do weird looks of clarity? You're kind of stuck. It's lots of pet shops or interesting interesting spell components.
I'll do pet shops. I need some cute.
Fair enough.
That kind of says where I'm going.
Hence why I preemptively said you were welcome.
Then Rylan kind of looks around and Ava, you and I can handle the potion shopping and I mean maybe Alice, you and Remy can look around and see if they have I know they probably don't do a lot of weapons here, but maybe if Cherie, can you point them to someplace that might do ammunition? Hazel, because you tend to be curious about this kind of thing, I will ask you to make me an insight check.
Roger, Roger.
Yeah,
24. Good lord.
Rylan doesn't know if they have if they sell ammunition here. Rylan, in fact, significantly doubts it. Rylan wants to give Alice and Remy some them time. Apparently, Rylan still feels a little bit bad about the whole panicking and making Alice visible thing.
Hey, Rylan?
Hmm?
I mean, if you're thinking too many potions things, why not just come with the Cute Brigade?
The look you are getting is, no, I want them to have time to themselves.
Sorry, I was trying to basically yoink.
Yeah, but that still leaves Ava. What Rylan was suggesting that they and Ava go for potions and send Remy and Alice on like fun wild goose chase was the point. And now you're getting the look
Wait a
of
second. Hold on. Wait. Alice and Remy. Alice can pick up. Oh, hang on. I got another idea. Ava, Rylan, potions, and well, sorry. What? Sorry, you just described wild goose chase. But what do you mean?
well, it just means anywhere where they can just hang out and not worry too much about not finding anything, frankly.
Honestly, pick a place to find tunnel supplies. You guys are the fastest for finding anything of that nature.
Okay, I'm gonna ask Darvin to make an insight check right now. Somebody needs to help this poor half elf.
Yeah. Again, has no idea. She's just trying to send them off onto a chase for something.
Yeah, give me one moment. I just gotta get to it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Y'all just be fast at getting adventuring stuff, right?
Well, yeah, the part that Hazel is not getting is that the mansion, the surreal estate. There's not a whole lot of supply they need. Yeah,
21.
you get exactly what
Mhm.
what they're trying to do. Right now, given that the way Hazel is flailing, the only way you can salvage this is to be Darvin at the situation, say road snacks, and make everybody disperse so that there's no more conversation to be had about this. Just say,
Darvin does.
yeah, just Remy Alice road snacks and shove
Yeah,
everybody
Darvin.
into the directions they're supposed to be going.
Yeah, Darvin. Assuming that everybody's in relatively a conglomeration, just walks over to Alice and Remy. Hey, road snacks, go, and then turns to the rest and just go, go, go.
Okay.
Just into
I
This is
grab
me being
Rylan's
very
arm
glad for
and
Darvin to salvaging it.
I grab Rylan's
Once
arm
again,
and lead them away.
grabbing clarity. Bolt.
Huh.
It's like, but it's Darvin, so at the same time he's doing this, he's giving like jazz hands.
With little flair.
What a fucking scene. Jazz heads Bard, and then just everybody fucking scatters.
When they're far enough away, Shrey turns around to Barnabas and goes, and that's what happens when Alice isn't involved in the planning. I see. I didn't want to interfere because I just wanted to see what was going to happen.
That's fair.
Yeah.
When Alice is not involved, jazz hands.
Yeah. Briefly, because we're getting to that time. Barnabas never really thought a whole lot about wizard spell components. Put it to you this way, there is some interesting shit, and Clarity may consider that she made the wrong call.
Mm.
Because this is like just about any young adult or child magic involved kind of shop. So components from very interesting creatures, that kind of thing.
And I'm assuming very interesting bits of very interesting creatures.
Generally not so much. They don't tend to go for actual bits of animal for spell component, but mostly furs, spider webs, of course, but they have to keep the spider so they can keep having the spider web, so you get spider the size of a teacup.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
various bits of dusts, guanos, other bits and pieces, feathers from. You're not entirely sure what kind of feathers those are, but they're interesting. And some things that apparently, if it weren't being picked up by Cherie, would cost an absolute mint. Looks like an actual bottle of shadow. Best you don't know.
Thank you. It's amazing how much his curiosity gets squashed by Cherie saying that.
Well, she knows more or less what he can tolerate, and she has a feeling that Barnabas doesn't necessarily want to go too far into the minutia, not after what happened with the Izet leak. So she just
Yes.
she sees him trying to figure it out, shuts that shit down.
And Barnabas trusts her, so he allows it to be shut the fuck down.
Ava and Rylan will discuss exactly what you picked up at the start of the next session, assuming everybody is here. Or at least assuming the two of you are here. Remy and Alice probably figured out that, no, this was giving us some time, but we're picking up snacks anyway, just because.
Snacks looks good.
Mhm.
And the several pet stores. I mean, there's one that's songbirds. Nothing but songbirds. There's one that specializes in mustelids, frankly, so ferrets and weasels and things along those lines. There's one entirely devoted to flying squirrels and sugar gliders. Yes, anybody who walks in gets kind of a poncho because they're gliding, and if you're in there for longer than like a minute, you will be landed on by flying rodent. But eventually you do get to Pet Sundry's place. It's an interesting spot because it's also pet groomers. But there's a variety of collars, bits and pieces, and when you ask, yes, they're not speak with animal spells, and they'll only work with the person holding the other tag. But like the tag on Sapphire that lets Clarity call little plushy friend, and Ava with butterscotch. This one is you have a tag that you wear on like bracelet or pendant or something, and Bitey has one on collar, and you can speak to Bitey, and that's it. It is relatively expensive, but since it's unlikely to burn out, because sometimes the enchantments used burn out after maybe a decade, which are cheaper, but they're usually for the less long-lived. But Munchkin Drakes are for life. And so, yeah, I'm assuming you carve Bitey. And new thing on collar. And that's how you know it works, frankly. Kind of not trying to pull it off, just
And Darwin says, "Can speak with you."
yeah, you could do that before.
All the time.
You couldn't all the time before?
No.
Then how could you before?
Magic.
Oh.
Temporary.
I just thought you were very clever. My last owner couldn't talk to me. Scrambles up on your shoulders.
now I just gotta. Ooh, here's a thought, and we probably we probably already saw one along the way. Oh well, too late now.
No,
That's what I was
what?
thinking. A sling or some way to carry him so he's not having to stay perched, so he can just relax.
This is relaxing.
Okay,
Besides, I don't go on all your adventures.
fair.
I don't think I. The cat bird can go. Because I think the gods love his fluffy, feathery ass. The fairy dragon can go, because he's smarter than half of you put together.
Hey.
You didn't
Darwin's
say
just-
which half.
Hell, Hazel would agree. Hazel knows she's not book smart.
I am here for eating food, being petted, and sometimes lighting the fireplace. That's something you never asked. Wait, does this mean that Bitey can breathe fire?
Darwin's just beaming. Oh,
Except I haven't been able to do the fire part because the glowy gold sort of people keep doing it instead.
well, you are loved.
I will figure that one out eventually. For now, just let me start fires. Because I will start them in places they don't want them. So Clarity and Hazel are watching Darvin make these faces.
I take it works.
Yes, Bitey does have a one very important request. Bitey can start fires in fireplaces and would like to be given an opportunity to do so more often. Otherwise,
Well, we'll
come
have
up with
to.
fires.
You will have to
that-
ask Alice about that because
Well, yeah.
she's the only one who can really control the.
Oh yes, I'm mentioning to them so that there are three brains with this information,
Fair
other
enough.
than just mine,
Okay, fair.
because I am a bard. I'm naturally. What is it? I'm naturally bard.
Which
I'm naturally blonde.
point you've got Michigan going. Drake has fire. Give me fire. I want fire.
Oh no.
Yes, Michigan is doing a spite.
I don't think it works that way.
Does the big sad in the arms of the angel's eyes.
You are already an omen griffin. You are very good.
Maybe I could figure something out. I can just start scribbling something in her notebook.
Of course, nothing stops Clarity when she gets started, so we're bound to see something come out of this.
At least I had Toad. Much.
I'm going to need so many more of those. Which is going to mean asking Alana for more of those.
I will end this with the fact that Alice will have considered that while the house provides food and you guys are getting treats for the rest of them, the ones that really need the road snacks are the animals. So they will be coming along with a variety of the better snack treats for from where you got Michigan, up to and including some extras for Woofles, and plenty of dried lizard and amphibian for Bitey, because that's what Bitey seems to like. And on that note, we will be back in 2 weeks' time. Hopefully, quickly blitz through the rest of the shopping and actually get to Cragvere. But if I'm really lucky, like really lucky, might be able to get Harry to sit in for a session
Ooh.
to let you guys meet back up with Rissy, who, as you'll recall, was actually supposed to be scouting out Cragvere. I don't know if I'll be able to get him, but I will try. But I need to know exactly when you guys are getting to
Mm.
Cragvere to arrange things, because he's got the same fibromyalgia thing as I do, which is interesting because it's usually women. It's like 80% women, I think, who get fibromyalgia. So poor unlucky sod. But that plus, wife, kids, busy schedule. So I need to attempt to wrangle him and hope he's feeling up to it on the day. But I will try. And either way, we'll see you in 2 weeks' time when we continue along on our journey and hopefully don't have to kill too much more time.